everybody. Today I have Robel, and it's tea time, and we are going to talk about mental health. So, cheers. If you have your tea, grab it.
I wonder why I'm the guest for mental health.
Because we are crazy.
Oh, good. Okay, that's a good reason to be a guest for mental health.
Okay, so Robel,
Hmm.
so let's get into it.
All right, let's go.
So, have you ever been diagnosed with mental health?
Oh yeah,
Which type?
the best type, bipolar disorder.
Why does it have to be the best type?
I think it's better than like schizophrenia and all this other, because it's like right in the middle. It's not like schizophrenia is really bad, right?
Okay.
Bipolar is like the fun mental health disease you could have. Then you have like ADHD and all this little lower stuff, but we don't really count them as.
Okay, so what do you do to control?
I usually take medication, but today I didn't take my medication because, we were doing this. So I was like, you know what? Let me not take my medication because I want to be my natural state for the show.
So does medication make you hyper or does it make you
No, it makes you like even because bipolar is always, you're either really high
yeah.
or you're really low. So the medication is supposed to just even you out, like right in the middle.
Right.
So you don't be too high or too low
Okay.
because I mean when you're too high, there's a lot of adventure.
Yeah.
When you're too low, you don't want to talk to nobody. You just want to stay
By yourself,
by
like
yourself, and
isolate from
yeah,
people.
yeah, you isolate yourself. But when you're like on a high,
Yeah.
you're everybody's friend. And, you just like the life of the party.
Yeah.
So that's it's a lot more fun when you're on a high, but you also get in a lot of trouble
By
when you're on high.
yeah. So are you able to like with you being diagnosed with mental health, are you motivated to like get up in the morning and go to work? Do you feel like being around your family and friends? How does you feel?
Yeah, well, that's when you're on a high. Yeah, you feel like you want to be around your family and friends and stuff. You want to be, just like more social. But
Yeah.
when you're like on a low, you don't want to do none of that.
Right.
You just want to stay at the house. Have as little interaction with other people as possible. So yeah, but when you're like on the medication, you're evened out. So you're just acting, you know, social, but you're not like overly being social. You
Being
don't do
social, yeah,
crazy
crazy
things.
stuff.
Yeah, because I know you see me do.
He used to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot
Like,
of stories.
yeah.
It was a lot of fun too at the same time, but
When
I,
he's crazy, he's crazy. Like,
the
oof.
naked white dude, that was a good.
What does a naked white do?
That naked white dude one time that came when I worked at a hotel overnight.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, I remember.
yeah, and then that whole adventure was when I was on a high,
Okay.
so I couldn't control myself in terms of like, oh, well, this guy's interesting.
Yeah.
They found him naked at 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's see what kind of adventure
Yeah.
we could get into. So, like those times that means I was on,
Hi.
yeah. Because if I was like either on my medication that day or if I was on a low, I would never,
Do the crazy stuff you did.
yeah.
So, when you are not on the medication, you are not on a high, do you ever have like a suicidal thought? Do you have any thought like
Not,
about
not, not,
harming
not
yourself?
suicidal because I'm not like there's a spectrum to it. So there's a spectrum where bipolar people could be like violent with their very like low percentage,
Right.
and then there's spectrum that like people that will try to hurt themselves, or whatever. I'm not that. That's not my spectrum. I just want to avoid everybody and just kind of chill out. But I've never been like
So,
suicidal
yeah.
or homicidal or anything like that.
Do you like hear voices if when you don't take the medication?
No, I don't hear voices. But I like it's basically that filter you have of saying. I'll give you an example. when I was on a high. I actually did this on my. I'm gonna do this on my podcast. Uh, I have a. So I have a thing called how I got fired, because for a long time I wasn't diagnosed, so I would get fired from jobs like. But I do have like 3, 4 jobs at a time, so
Yeah.
I just switch them out. So whenever I get fired, oh, okay, on to the next one, right? So uh, there was one time where there was a lady. She came and there's a white lady and a black lady,
Right.
and I was working at this hotel, and they came to me and they're like, "We're looking for a water fountain." I was like, "A water fountain?" Like, damn, who's looking for what? Like water fountains? So I'm like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Yeah, do you know where the water fountain is?" And I was like, "Colored or white?" And they were like, "I'm sorry. Are you looking for the colored white water
Well,
fountain
fountain. Yeah.
or the white water fountain?" She's like, "Excuse me," and like the black lady started laughing, and the white lady totally just got angry at me. She was like, "I can't believe you said that. Like, this is not funny, blah blah." And I'm like, "You act like your parents didn't have nothing to do with this." And she was like, "I'll tell you right now, my parents, they marched with Dr. King." I was like, "But and your grandparents probably hated that, didn't they?" And she was like, "I need to speak to your manager." So my manager came. My manager's like 20-year-old man.
Right.
So he came and he was like, "Man, she's telling me you said this is that true?" I was like, "Yeah." And he is like, he's confused too. He's like, "Why is the white lady mad?" And the black lady was okay with it, but the white lady was the one screaming and stuff. I was like, "I don't know, man." He's like, "Well, we definitely can't have you here no more." So I got fired like that because because like I think bipolar, like when I'm on a high,
Yeah.
that filter goes away. Like I'll just say whatever
Whatever
if
is,
I think it's
whatever
funny,
comes to your
yeah,
mind. Yeah.
whatever comes to mind. Like so that's it. Just takes your you know your inhibitions away and just kind of and then like once and then when you go back down, you're like, ah
Yeah.
man, how come I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
So now like when I look at the consequences of all the crazy things I did when I was on a high,
Yeah.
it kind of puts you on the low. So that's always that's the up and down
Up
that
and down about.
the
Yeah.
medication should take care of. But once you're medicated, it shouldn't you shouldn't be on a high or a low. You should just kind of
Being like in the middle.
in the middle, yeah. And so that's why you try to get. I know a lot of people like they try to self medicate with alcohol and drugs. Like
Yeah. Do you ever feel like drinking? Have you ever
no,
get
I never.
drunk?
No, because that just makes it worse. It will even you out, but like you're already like
On
you're
a
already
high?
yeah on a high already. So if you're just going to do a little bit of anything
Right.
without like doctor supervision or if it's not like a medication that's prescribed to you, then you don't know how you react to it.
Right.
So I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm just naturally, you know,
Yeah.
if I need to get on a high, I just don't take my medication, and then
Yeah.
I'm naturally there.
Yeah.
So I never mess with
You
that.
know, some people don't like to talk about the mental health thing. How do you feel?
I don't know
I
why.
mean, you feel comfortable talking about it.
Yeah, because it's not. I mean, everybody got something, So it's especially like in the African community that I come from. Uh,
They're ashamed to talk about
oh
stuff
yeah,
like
they're
that.
like, oh no.
Don't talk about. People will laugh.
They're like,
At,
why you
people
tell
look at
everybody
you.
that?
Yeah.
Like, why not? Like, because maybe if I talk about it, more people will talk about it.
Right.
But it's to me, it's just like having other issues. You know, people have way worse issues than like bipolar disorder.
Bipolar disorder. Yeah.
So I'm like, why not talk about it? It's so easy to talk about.
Yeah.
But it also it's a curse and a gift because I know when I'm on a high, or just sometimes it just helps me create a lot of stuff that I try to do.
Yeah.
So I'm never gonna be like, ashamed of it because I really feel like, bipolar. If you're gonna have a mental disease, I would choose the one I got.
That's the best one.
That's the best. That's the best one ever.
So, beside the medication, did the doctor say, like, maybe try to exercise, or did they give anything else beside the medication to make you feel?
Well, they like a few have a routine that helps. Like going to church every Sunday. That helps me because it just kind of puts my week in
Like a good start.
like a good start.
Okay.
Yeah. Sleeping for a long time. Me working overnight a lot. My sleep schedule was going up and down.
Right.
But so sleeping just on a regular sleeping schedule that helps a lot. So it's a lot about since your mind is unbalanced, it's a lot about balancing yourself,
Right.
like balancing your mind because you know you always like we are unbalanced to a point,
True.
but like for bipolar people they were just unbalanced more.
Yeah.
So and it takes little for us to get unbalanced.
Right.
So and then taking so those things help and just kind of even taking like fish oil and though that helped me a lot. Part of the diet too, it helps if you exercise a
But
lot.
are you on a diet? Because I don't think you're on a diet.
No, you can because
I see you eat crazy stuff.
only I'm not on a diet. It would help if I was on a diet.
It will help a
Yeah,
lot.
but we come to America
You
from Ethiopia
Stop.
for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Stop. Don't say.
No, I'm serious.
Don't say
Like,
what I think you're going to say.
no,
Stop.
I'm saying like we come to America to eat. We don't come to America not to
Wait,
eat.
who come to America to eat?
You didn't come to America not
No.
to eat. You see, so you came to eat then, right?
No.
Okay, you gotta choose one.
No, I did not come to eat.
What did you come for?
A lot of different things.
Well, you came from the other side. From our side, we came to eat.
Okay, so from Ethiopia side, you came to eat.
Yeah, like that's why I told them in my when we went through like the immigration thing to get my citizenship,
Yeah.
and they were like, name reasons you come to America. 3 good reasons, and everybody, like the Asians, was talking about like education, freedom, and all this other stuff, and they got to me, and I was like, oh, I came for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because I'm telling you, like in Ethiopia, it's so hard to get dinner. It's almost impossible to get dinner in Ethiopia.
Oh my God, Robel.
That's why I was like, I gotta get out of here. This is
So, are you with the mental health that you have? Are you able to like? How is your dating life? Does it help you there?
no, that doesn't help.
Oh, okay, that's
because
a disaster.
yeah, because the women like consistency.
Yeah, and you're not.
No,
That I know you are not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they like consistency. They're like, I just want to know, if you're gonna be here when you said you're gonna be here. I just want to know, if you're there for me emotionally, physically, and all this other stuff. I'm like, well, let's see, let's get it one at a time. So it does not help, but it does make it interesting.
Right.
Because good relationships are not interesting. Like if you agree all the time, they're not interesting. So a woman has to like adventure. For
So you take them on adventure.
yeah, you have to, like, especially when I'm on a high, and we go out on a date. I want to mess with other people in the restaurant, not just me and you.
Right.
So it's a lot more fun that way. So if a woman likes adventure, then it might help a little bit.
Yeah.
If she's like bored, or if she grew up very sheltered, you kind of
Right.
break her out of that. But if a woman like consistency and like, so that's why you gotta date younger women. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Because older women start asking you like, questions you're not interested in when
Right.
you're bipolar and you want adventure and stuff.
True.
For younger women, they're more adventurous and stuff. They're not ready. Like
Right.
women older, they ask you serious questions and you answer it in not a serious way.
Yeah.
So it's like there was one time I went on a date with a girl, and she had 3 kids already. And she's like, "So how many kids you want?" I was like, "Well, how many you got?" And she said, "Well, I have 3 kids." I was like, "We got enough. We don't need to add any more to the bunch." Oh, she's like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Well, what if I say I want to have more kids?" I was like, "Oh, wow, more than 3 kids?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, wow, that's not gonna work, because you might want to have somebody else, and then I might come back in the picture and see, if it's okay. But if you already got 3 kids, that's enough."
Were you on your high or were you on your low when you were saying
No,
all that?
I was on the high, because I took her to a restaurant I couldn't afford to. So yeah,
So
when
who
I'm on
paid
a
for the
high,
food?
no, I mean I paid, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's
I
not your
limited
budget.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew it wasn't in my budget when I took her there, but I was like trying to work some stuff out with everybody.
right.
Like well, like when she's about to order something, I'm like, "Oh, okay, not that one. Pick something else. Pick something else on the menu." So the waiter even helped me out, because
Oh my goodness.
I'm serious. I'm like, "Oh wow, she picked the wrong thing."
Oh my goodness. Oh man. You are
So I'm
crazy.
telling you, it's if you're gonna have a mental disorder, you might as well have bipolar disorder.
So, what advice do you give to the people who have it, but then they're ashamed of it? They don't want people to
I
know
mean, the
that they
first
have it.
thing is get diagnosed, know what you have.
Right.
And if you're ashamed of it, you're gonna be okay. That's fine, but don't don't let the shame not live your best life on whatever you got. So don't
Right.
let the shame not like if you're ashamed of it, you don't want to tell anybody. That's fine, but don't let that discourage you from getting
Help.
diagnosed and
Yeah.
helped. And then some people should know, like the inner circle of the people that it's going to respect,
Right.
because you know if people know who you are, then or how you are, they'll deal with you
Would be
easier
easier.
than he's like, "Oh, that
You're
guy's just
right.
an asshole, like
Yeah.
he's ignoring my texts, he's ignoring my calls and stuff," because they don't know what you're dealing
What
with.
you're dealing with. Right.
So yeah, don't I don't know why be ashamed of it. It's not you know it's not something that it's something you're born with. You can only be ashamed of something that's a habit that you develop. Then
Right.
that's not a habit that if I'm smoking cigarettes, okay, I'll be ashamed of that because I picked that
You
up
picked
somewhere.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't go to like Walmart and pick up a mental disorder
Right.
unless I'm standing in line with an old lady in front of me. And you might you might develop that, but you can't you can't be ashamed of something you're born with.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot more. There's a lot worse stuff than
That you can be ashamed of instead of
yeah,
being ashamed of being
yeah.
mental. Yeah.
You got to think of it this way. Though my mom used to say, "Ain't nothing wrong with you, but something ain't right." So you got to just fix something
Fix
that's not
something
right.
that is not right.
You know,
Yeah.
because it's just the first thing is. I mean, okay, even if you're ashamed of it, just seek help. Because if you can't, then it's you gonna at some point either a court system or something's gonna force you to seek help.
To seek help. Yeah.
So you don't want to get to that point.
So it's easier to seek help than
It's a
waiting
lot easier.
too late. Yeah.
Yeah, because then you know what you're dealing with. Like
Right.
a lot of the stuff that I did not know how to deal with, it became
It
from
became
became way easier to deal with than when I was
when
diagnosed.
it was
It's just something you're born with. You can't run away from it.
Is it something you're born with, or it's just like
No, it's
like a
definitely
mental
something you're born.
disease that you just
No, it's something you're born with because I've been like this my whole life, especially bipolar, schizophrenia, and all this.
yeah
It's something you're born with. Now, there's might be an argument for like the ADHD and all that stuff. It's something you might develop because of just the short attention span you have in America.
right
every 3-4 minutes you have a commercial and all this. So that you might develop a little bit, but the stuff like bipolar, schizophrenia, and then they have like so many different schizophrenias.
Right.
Those you are born with. You can't, you're blessed with, I should say.
You are blessed with.
Yeah, the bipolar you're definitely
Okay.
blessed with. A lot of creative people are
yeah.
bipolar. A
Bipolar.
lot of creative people.
Yeah.
So that I'm not, you know,
It's a blessing and a curse at the
yeah,
same time.
it's
So
a blessing and a curse. And then with medication, you could kind
You
of
can-
erase the curse part and just keep the the blessing part.
Right.
So it's not that hard to live with. And it gets better with time. The more you could.
The more you take the medication, the more it
Yeah, the more you know. First, you gotta decide what level, what dosage
what dosage you need.
the medication. Once you figure that out, everything else is.
Have you ever gone to therapy? Did you ever feel like it's need?
I don't know if it's therapy. It's called. I don't know what it's called. But yeah,
You went to therapy?
yeah. To get diagnosed, you go they do a whole mental evaluation, and then you
Yeah.
have to keep going back to see if the dosage need to be increased or
Okay.
the dosage need to be decreased and stuff. So yeah, you go there and then you just talk for like an hour and stuff.
Did you ever feel like the medication is causing more harm than
No.
good? No?
No, I never had any adverse reaction to the medication.
Okay.
Shout out lithium 350. That's the medication.
That's a
Lithium-
medication?
Yeah, lithium carb 350. Shout out. Pfizer or whoever makes it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Robel, for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you
And-
for the tea. Appreciate the tea.
That's going to cost you.
What's gonna cost me?
But thank you so much for coming and talking to us about mental health. Like he said, don't be ashamed to seek help if you have a mental health. Don't be ashamed to take your medication. I think sometimes when you talk about it help, talking about things help. Find people that are supportive, like family that will support you, and just reach out to someone and seek for help. Don't forget to subscribe to our video, and we will see you again next time. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.